This is the nightly business report for this Tuesday, August the 21st, 1999. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins. Here's what's happening here. After rising for 7 days, the price of oil fluctuated before closing slightly lower in the first trading session after the announcement by the Saudi oil minister that its country would pump an extra 2 million barrels a day, but the gasoline prices kept rising sharply and the market remained nervous. The stake of the American companies in Saudi Arabia, while still important, is declining. Losses of American companies in an event of hostilities in the area are likely to be more in the form of lost revenues and opportunities than in lost plants. The growing attitudes of designing and building supercomputers is making it increasingly difficult for the US and Japan to keep the powerful machines from proliferating. The rise in the possibility that more nations may be able to design advanced weapons. A French businessman hopes that to become Poland's first national franchise offering lemon flavor perrier imported muesli and German beer and Arab cheese 24 hours a day. The insurance industry has started to suffer from the slump in real estate that has already hurt many banks and savings and loans. The delinquency rate on mortgages for office buildings and hotels and shopping malls and other commercial properties held by the nation's insurers have increased sharply in recent months. A Long Island company in the Russian Republic have a preliminary agreement to help keep Russia produce 50 million pairs of shoes over the next decade. IMAL sales are said to hope to find a sign of a final agreement with Kimberly next month in Moscow. Interco will ask its bondholders to exchange 95% of the company's common stocks for their bonds. There, a federal jury found 3 former Northwest pilots guilty of flying a jetliner while under the influence of alcohol for the first drunken flying conviction of professional pilots. 7 toy distributors, including Toys R Us, were sued by the Justice Department and the Consumer Product Safety Commission for selling imported toys and the government calls unsafe. A secret agreement between Northrop and the government was released under a judge's orders and the backlist criminal investigations by the U.S. State Conduct pursuant in exchange for a $17 million payment. Harleysville announced plans by U.S. Lico's property and casualty insurance operation for $135 million. Stock got a lift from British tough talk on Iraqi hostages, but investors remain cautious. The Dow climbed 11.64 to 2,656.44 on sluggish volume. Prices of Treasury securities dipped in light traded and interest rates held steadily as the dealers waited to feature further developments in the Middle East. The dollar closed mostly higher against the world's major currencies in moderate trading, recovering ground after many days of decline. Gold prices also rose. Orange juice futures settled at the lowest levels in nearly 8 months after 2 Brazilian processors cut their prices. Status is down for the count. Can it recover or will perhaps be back or broken into pieces? John looks at his salmon and expected all to keep falling, but he does not foresee a sharp decline. Europe will become so important in the next 10 years that it is likely that the headquarters of some U.S. agencies will be moved overseas and add executives say. Stocks Dow Jones closed 2656.44, up 11.64. Dollar versus Japanese yen 146.51, yen down 109 yen. Gold 410.10, up at hundredths of a point 50 cents, and bonds 8.93% unchanged. That's going to be the night report for this August the 20th, 1990 on a Monday. PJ, what do you have? A good evening and I'll see you later on. Bye-bye, buddy.